Hi everybody, I'm Chef Nick, and today on Nick Ruins Ethnic Food, we're getting ready for Oktoberfest, and we're going to be making some Schweineschnitzel, or pork cutlets. Normally I do food from outside my culinary tradition, but growing up in a pretty German family in Milwaukee, a pretty German part of the country, schnitzel is bread and butter, but we're going to show you how we do it around here. Alright, so the first thing about making schnitzel is we've got to take our pork loin, break it down into thin slices. You can just buy thin pork chops at the grocery store with no bones in them. Just a simple, easy way to start. Obviously, you're doing this in a restaurant. Buy a pork loin. They're a lot cheaper. Process them yourself. So what I like to do is I like to wrap a cutting board in plastic film. And then just get my hands wet, kind of rub it on there. Because remember, dry is sticky, and we want to spread our meat. We want to stretch it out, pound it thin, but we don't want it to be tearing. All right. So plastic wrap, a little bit of water on it makes it real nice and slick. Here's my other pro tip for you. Get a plastic baggie. What we're going to do is we're going to use this on top of our meat. So it'll be water and plastic film on the bottom, plastic bag on top. And this plastic bag, it can slide past itself as you're hitting it with the meat mallet. That means the mallet isn't coming down and pulling. The mallet comes down, the plastic will slip, so you're cutting down on your chances for slipping right there, slipping and tearing. Now with your meat mallet, always try to get yourself one of these double-sided guys, smooth side and pointy side. So we'll start with just a quick pass with the pointy side. That'll kind of break up the grain a little bit, make stretching it a little bit easier. And then the smooth side is what we're going to be using for spreading out and making our cutlet nice and thin. Okay, so I just went to the grocery store, got some relatively thin cut pork loin, no additional trimming needed. This little fat cap here, that's real soft fat, that's going to cook out for us real nice. I'm just talking you through it now before I start banging on stuff, so you don't have to listen to that. So I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to go over it with the pointy side, put the bag on, smooth side. Then we're just going to stack them up on this unwrapped portion of the cutting board with some parchment in between that'll just kind of serve as a holding position before we start our breading. There we go, 1/8 of an inch thin. Oh, there we go, 1/8 of an inch thin, no tears. We are ready to go. That's going to hang there until we're ready to bread it. Now I'm going to do the rest of these, and on to the next clip for you. Behold the breading station. We've got a little salt and pepper mixture here, my pounded out cutlets, flour, unseasoned, 4 eggs, I'm going to whip these up in just a second, and some plain breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs are breadcrumbs, it doesn't really matter where you get them from. Kroger is fine. Alright, so a lot of people tell you to make seasoned flour. I find this wasteful. I always end up with either way too much flour or not enough. And I'm not entirely sure how much salt and pepper is ending up on my cutlets, so I just made a little mixture of salt and pepper, seasoned the pork chop. So we're going to season the pork chop pretty liberally. All right, so wet hand, dry hand. That's going to go into the flour. Let's get these whisked up real quick. That will do. All right. Cutlet comes out of the flour into the egg wash. Wet hand, dry hand. Make sure we don't have any dry flour hanging out on there. That's looking good to me. Now this is the important part. Once it goes into the flour, don't press it down. We want to be able to keep it nice and fluffy. Make sure it's got contact. Make sure we got flour all over everything, but we don't need to smush it. All right, and there we go. Now I'll do the rest of these. And voila, TV magic. Got all of our pork cutlets here, our schnitzels ready to go. These are just going to hang out in the fridge until I'm ready to cook them. If you're just cooking for yourself, you can go ahead and put these in individual baggies, and you can cook them right from frozen out of the freezer as you feel the need. But these are just going to go in the fridge, reset. That way they'll be ready to go when I'm ready to cook dinner. Are you ready for some schnitzel? All right, got my biggest cast iron pan out here. Got about 3 tablespoons worth of clarified butter. I want to use a clarified butter on this one as opposed to whole butter. We don't want that brown butter characteristic. We just want the buttery fat. So we're going to get that around in the pan. If you still have your breadcrumbs laying around, or if your schnitzel sat in the fridge for a little while, just a quick dredge in the leftover breadcrumbs to kind of help dry it out. That'll give us a better fry. So I'm heating this up on a medium-high heat. When we're up to about 3 1/4, 350, we will start sauteing it. All right, game on. We got some nice shimmering going on. Breadcrumbs start to foam. Except when we add them in, that means we're about at temperature. All right, make sure we got a nice even coating of that oil. In we go. My stove has got a little bit of a lean, so my oil goes that way. So I like cooking there because then I've got the most contact with the oil. It's the oil, not the pan itself, that's doing the cooking on this guy. All right, let's check on our schnitzel. There we go. Give it a quick shake, get that excess oil off of there. That's going to go on our plate. I got our zigeuner sauce heating up on the side. It looks nice and warm to me. Let's go ahead and get that on. Okay, let's try a bite with everything on it now. Here's my schnitzel with the zigeuner sauce. See the little pepper hanging off the edge. Crunchy, juicy, savory. Get all those really complex, sweet flavors from the caramelized onions and the peppers. It's so good. That tastes like fall. The only thing it's missing is a glass of your favorite Oktoberfest, which I happen to have right here. Oh, that always hits the spot. All right. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and we'll see you on the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.